Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I'm Kelly Stewart, joined by Teddy Covers and Ralph Michaels. We're talking NBA championship odds. This is tough. You guys, I've only followed the NBA for a few years. Everybody knows I've blasted all over Twitter how much I hate the NBA. Now that I've finally gotten in with some guys that have taught me some stuff about betting the NBA, I've found some tidbits and some situations. Life's not so bad anymore.
Throw them all out the window now when we get to the playoffs.
We'll throw all that out the window. But the championship odds, I mean, the Warriors are the favorite for the reason. They've been a favorite all year, but they haven't covered games for a majority of the year. They're one of the worst ATS teams going into the playoffs. Teddy, I'll start with you. What do you think about NBA futures? I mean, if you're holding a Golden State Warriors ticket right now, what do?
You hold it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably in a fairly decent spot, but you certainly laid a price to hold that ticket. And the NBA future market, to me, in the Warriors era is absolutely a betting market you don't want any part of.
Okay.
You flat out don't want any part of it.
It feels like, why would you want the sportsbooks to hold your money for 7 months when you're waiting on the Warriors in June?
You're laying a price, 29 teams against one with Golden State, and at the same time, do you want to be betting against Golden State? No. Nobody wants to be betting against Golden State. So in terms of series prices, that can and often is a good bet in the NBA playoffs. When you talk about odds to win it all in the Golden State Warriors era, doesn't matter if you want the Warriors or you don't.
So you're saying really right now, early April, don't go out betting a team to win the championship?
I would bet them series price.
Do you think there's no value? Okay, so bet the series prices or bet them in individual games?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to change much from the first round to the second, because if you're a 1 seed in the East and you like Toronto or Milwaukee or whoever, and you beat the 7 or 8 seed, you're going to almost have the exact same odds anyway. So you can see how the team's playing in the playoffs. But one thing about the Golden State thing that's interesting this year is that with Houston sliding to the 4, they may actually be challenged in the second round. First year, they their first 2 rounds, they went 5 games, 5 games. Then they went 4 games, 4 games. Then they went 5 games, 7 games in the year they lost to the Cavs 3 years ago, prior to playing the Cavs. So they may actually get challenged, and in the second series have to go 6 or 7 games against Houston, which will put a little more work in their coffer in the Western Conference Finals, which could challenge when they play the NBA championship. So with Houston falling to the 4, I think it's another dynamic why not to bet the Golden State Warriors for any price in this time.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Houston's one team that in theory could beat them. You know, the Warriors have battled the Rockets. It hasn't always been easy for Golden State against Houston, and the Rockets have been as hot as any team in the NBA down the stretch. They're loaded with shooters. They're hitting 3-pointers. Golden State.
So because they're a 4 seed, would you say they're a sleeper pick?
I mean, the Rockets can't be considered a sleeper pick. They're number 2
still the number 2 favorite, yeah.
Right.
And just like,
but even though they're a 4 seed, right? Because that's how the public's going to see them. They're not looking.
The public's not looking at the Rockets as a 4 seed. They're looking at them as the number 2 team in the West, just like the Raptors. I mean, I think the Raptors, in theory, some value with the Raptors, because the Raptors are every bit as good as the Bucks and the 76ers. And at times this year, the markets have had them priced a little bit lower. So I guess in theory, there's a little bit of value on Toronto. But if I'm taking Toronto, I'm only taking them to win the East. You know.
Okay. So who are you taking? Is there anything that you think you would bet today, or you think there's absolutely no value on the board as far as a sleeper pick to win it all?
Oh, God. I mean, again, Raptors or Rockets are the 2 teams that I would look at as, have a chance to value-wise. I mean, when you look at the East, the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Celtics, they're all live.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of where's the price and what's the right price. And if any of those teams makes it to the finals against Golden State or Houston, maybe they could win. I mean, but it's not, oh, this is the one team that I want my money on. No, well, we'll look at it series by series. And for first round, I think there may well be some value going against some of the teams I just talked about. The Nets, the Magic, they're both playing good ball down the stretch and have potential to make money as underdogs, big underdogs, in the first couple of days of the first round.
Ralph, I'll let you have the final word.
I am on Boston and Toronto in the East, just basically because, I mean, I'm born in Cleveland. I'm the old East Coast guy. I remember, Chicago had to beat Detroit. Cleveland had to beat Chicago. Boston and Toronto have tried to be in Cleveland. You have to get there. You have to have been there to do that to get to the championship. Milwaukee has lost in the first round each of the last 2 years. Philly has not been there. Boston has been there the last 2 years. Toronto has fought in Cleveland, was in the finals 3 years ago. I think it comes down to Boston and Toronto in the end. I think both are.
So you're not buying Giannis and the Bucks, then, is what it sounds like.
I am not. I told you in another video last week, I said I will fade him as a double-digit favorite early. early. You know, yes, they have the #1 diff. I mean, their diff is crazy. I think they're plus 9.2 points per game, and Golden State is like 6.3 or something. So, I mean, that's a huge difference. But you have not been out of the first round of the playoffs.
That's factored into the point spread, that point differential for
okay,
sure.
So
you haven't been out of the first round the last 2 years.
Right now, we're paying because they're called the Milwaukee Bucks, and they have one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah, the best player
we're paying
in the
because
NBA.
their statistical profile stands out like a sore thumb, not because they're named the Milwaukee Bucks or because they have Giannis, because their point differential is off the charts. Their offensive and defensive efficiency are as good as any team.
I think if you bet Toronto and Boston both to come out of the East, you're going to make money.
Okay. All right. Great stuff, guys. $9 Monday at WagerTalk. Get all daily packages for Monday's action, plus any NBA, any NHL, baseball priced at only $9. That includes any 5% best bets, normally priced at $30.